Listen, everybody needs a fairy godmother, just somebody to look out for them. Some people call me their fairy smoke mother, others their internet big sister, but you can call me Hannah, the host of Smoke Sesh. So come hang out, let's light up and talk everything there is to life. The good, the bad, the ugly, the embarrassing. I've got a story for it all. Hello, hotties of the world, and welcome back to another beautiful, amazing, wonderful episode of Smoke Sesh. My name is Hannah, your sesh host, and I am so excited to be back with you all for another beautiful little episode, another little Smoke Sesh hangout. I don't have much to catch you guys up on. Sorry, I talked for 40 minutes about my trip last episode, but also I think a lot of you guys were feeling inspired, and loved hearing about it, even though I was just rambling about myself. I mean, I guess that's the whole point of a podcast, but sometimes I'm like, am I boring? ? Hope I kept you entertained. A lot of you guys also work in national parks, was not aware. Shout out to you. Thank you for taking care of our earth. What a fun fucking job. This fucking squirrel, I swear to God, if he gets in my plants, I'm gonna freak out. They know better. I feed them peanuts. I feed them fresh strawberries. They know not to fuck with my peppers. Give me a second. They're like children. Literally last night, I forgot to feed them in the morning because I had to work a brunch shift, which honestly went really well. Great time. I've been loving working brunches, honestly. You want to work 2 days a week and make enough money, girl, go work a brunch shift. It might kill you, but those 9 a.m. wake up times are really the only problem I have with it. I get off at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Fantastic. I have a couple mimosas after I get off. I go home. I'm feeling good. I cook myself a big dinner, or I go have dinner with my family, come home early, usually go get ice cream with my boyfriend afterwards and just take a bunch of dabs, scroll on my phone, do some art. What is better than that? Are you kidding me? How amazing of a Sunday. I haven't worked Sundays in a while. My schedule is changing up a little bit. I had to be a big girl this week, you guys. I had to be a big girl. And I had to I had to put my 2 weeks in at my job. I've never put a 2 weeks in before. Usually, like all my other jobs, it's like, oh, I'm working for the summer because I'm a student. So like, obviously I'm going to have to leave at this date, and I just let them know the date as soon as I get hired. And that's that. They know what's going on. It's not like a 2 weeks notice. It's actually like a 3 months notice. Also, I love this water bottle. Let me plug it in a second. Not sponsored. I'm just obsessed. But usually it's kind of like that situation. Like when I was a nanny, I was basically just leaving once the kids went to school. So very simple. It's like, oh, when the kids start school on this day, we won't really need you anymore because we'll just pick them up from school when they're done. Easy peasy. This is the first place I've actually had to be like, no, I'm leaving in 2 weeks. I feel like 2 weeks is not a lot of time, like not a lot of notice. But ultimately, that is the best amount of time for a worker to give a person. And I had to be a big girl. I was so nervous. And my manager, she's super cool. She's so sweet. She just wants to see me grow and prosper. So when I told her why, and like, I needed to quit this job to kind of focus on this and really just focus on connecting with you guys and making sure I'm putting out the best content possible. And I was really just straining myself across multiple different jobs. Me and my Gemini self, and then having Gemini parents who believe that like no work is ever enough and constantly raising me under that pressure, but not also under that pressure. Like they weren't really putting that in my mind intentionally. They were more so just like exhibiting that. And so I saw that, and that's like what I kind of like to do. I like to have 10 fucking jobs and stress myself out for no reason. I was just like, hey, I don't think I can work here. I'm only working there 1 day a week anyways. Like, I think I need just like to retire this job, come back later if I need. It's good to have like a good place to fall back on in case, where you want to go doesn't really work out. So it's always good to have good relations with your job and your manager if you want to. If they're a piece of shit, then fuck it, just leave. But this was a place that I didn't want to just like fuck them over. And she was so sweet. She was like, no, I'm happy for you. I want to make sure that you're living your best life and you're taken care of. I think the last time I worked is when I had my mental breakdown and just started sobbing and crying and just had to leave. So I think after that, she's like, hey girl, like, no, whatever you need for your mental health, we're happy. Just don't like off yourself. So that was awesome. I have 2 weeks left there. July is going to feel like kind of like a whole new lifetime, which I'm very excited about. I feel like I went on my trip and I did so much like soul searching and seeking and just discovering of the world. And it really renewed this part of myself that I haven't really exuded in a while, which was just general curiosity and drive for life. Who would have thought? Like, sometimes you just need to fucking run away into the forest and let your imagination run wild and live your best life in order to realize, like, really, that's all it's about. Like, if you think about it, my grandma, when she was my age, she was already 2 kids deep and they were probably 5 years old at this point. And that's insane. But that's because she didn't have a choice. You know, like she didn't have a choice. That's just what you did. You went to home ec class. You learned how to cook. You learned how to sew. You learned how to have babies. You got married at 18 because guess what? You ain't going to college and you definitely are not getting a fucking job unless it's a seamstress or an actor or something. I don't know. So you get married young. You have babies and you don't really have goals. Those are your goals. Those are the pre-set up societal goals. So I feel like I've kind of been feeling that pressure the older I've gotten. Not from like anybody in particular, just like a general society thing. I don't know why babies are being pushed to me so fucking hard, especially like with the algorithms and stuff. Everybody's getting pregnant. Everybody's getting pregnant. Everybody's becoming a trad wife, which like love cooking and all that, but like I kind of got my brain a little bit where I was like, holy shit, no, I need to like settle down and get a house and have babies soon. And I think that was killing my brain and rotting my brain because that's not what I really wanted to do. Sure, seems fun one of these days. But honestly, like if you are young, if you are a woman, you have a choice now. Make those fucking choices. Don't sit here stagnant and do nothing with your life. Go out and make the choices that the women who came before you did not have the ability to do. You know, how lucky are we to be a woman in this time and have choices, be able to make choices, to say yes, to say no, to go here, to leave, to come, to go, to do literally whatever the fuck you want. So I really think with this like last half of my 20s, wild, the first 5 years were really all about just like understanding myself in relation to the world as an individual, especially because I had finally been left to my own devices at like 20. I think that's when I dropped out of college and finally got my own apartment, started paying my own bills and had to like kind of realize and conceptualize what it is to be an individual under capitalism and survive, and also try and be an adult and have social outings and also like be a whole human being and take care of yourself and feed yourself. And that is very difficult. It is difficult. And I feel like the first 5 years of your 20s are really just figuring that out. Who am I in relation to the world? And now this last half of my 20s, I'm really trying to focus on who am I in relation to the world, but also how can I connect to it? And how do I want to connect to it? What do I want to say yes to? What are the choices that I want to make? I feel like I didn't want to make any choices in my early 20s because I didn't feel prepared enough. But once you hit 25 and you're halfway through your 20s, you realize, holy shit, sometimes you just got to choose. Sometimes you just got to fucking go for it. And guess what? Sometimes it's not going to work out. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's going to take you on a different path that you never could have thought of. But the key here is you must make choices. You cannot stay stagnant. You need to keep moving and swimming through this life. You have to be like a shark, okay? You can't stop swimming or you're going to die. Anyways, that's kind of the realizations I've been coming to recently. Sorry, it's a lot to dump on you in this first 10 minutes. Also, this water bottle, not sponsored. Maybe I should reach out to them. I've been a Hydro Flask girly my entire life. You've seen me with my little cute pink water bottle. I've been a Hydro Flask girl until I went on this girls trip. And I love hanging out with girls because they simply want to see you better your life. Always. And sometimes that comes with just like my friends putting me onto things, whether they're like literally not selling it to me, but are like pitching it to me and are like, no, you need this. Or it's just like I'm viewing them use it and I'm like, wow, that would make my life so much easier. But these like Owala water bottles, holy shit, you guys, these are perfect. I love my Hydro Flask because it kept everything cold. Like that's literally the whole point of it. Hello. But I have to have a straw lid. I always have to have a straw lid. Hand to mouth fucking contact. I need it. But it leaks everywhere. The straw lids on Hydro Flask leak everywhere. Everywhere. It's the worst. So this as a straw lid and like a chugging portion, and when you close the lid, it's not gonna fucking leak. And has a handle. I was like, sold. It's like $25, easy peasy. All my friends had one. I was like, girl, I need to get on that bandwagon. Anyways, happy to be here. Happy to have my Owala. I'm planning a couple more trips soon, which is getting me a renewed excitement about life again. I really am just going to try and spend this last half of my 20s, especially because like if I want to have kids one day, which is that I'll figure that out later. That's like a 30s thing, you know? Like I'm still young. I need to be traveling as much as I possibly can when I'm young. Like, hello, that's the whole point of working as a server. Like I'm not starting, well, I have a career, but I'm not starting like a big career because I don't really want to settle down, because guess what? I want to be able to up and leave for a fucking month and go to Europe and run around. I also need to be able to make the money to do so. Thus the serving and bartending. And honestly, happy to be here. Happy to be here. Will I be a career server? No. But does it fund what I need it to fund? Yes. And sometimes that's all you really need. Focus on the good in the now always. Anyways, I had family dinner with my parents last night. That was pretty chill. It is hot as hell. Girl, the summer solstice happened. It was the first day of summer. All of a sudden, why is it 105 degrees outside? Why is it the hottest it's ever been in my entire life? A little nervous about that. A little scary. All we can do is really do our part. Shop locally, support locally, recycle, you know the fucking thing. Don't buy for big corporations that are awful. Try and buy less plastic. Recycle if you can. Things like that. We as the modern day consumer, this is not our fault. I would like to say that. This whole global warming thing, it's not our fault. It's not our fault. All we can do is really do our best. But I think corporations like to push it on the little people, like, oh, you need to stop using straws. Bitch, you need to stop dumping oil in the ocean. You need to stop dumping your giant fucking fishing nets in the ocean. Hello, let's be real. Like the little people, us little people, we can only do what we can do. We can do our best. That's it. Sometimes you have to rely on the best. But honestly, like, it is the big corporations and the government not doing anything. So be mad at them. Don't be mad at yourself. Literally all we can do is the best. Eat less red meat, recycle, things like that. But goddamn if it's not hot. So I've been trying my best to just stay cool and enjoy my time and get outside while I can. Who's got a pool? Who's got a pool? Why the fuck do we have no pools in my city? I need a pool because my life is just... it is missing something, and you know what it's missing? It's missing sun tanning next to a cool body of water. And the river's too hot right now, unfortunately. Anyways, I love you all. That's enough rambling that I would like to get out of the way. I hope you're all doing well. I hope summer's treating you well. I hope you're being kind to yourself in this heat. I had to work at my restaurant that serves hot soup with no air conditioning. So trust me, I understand how testy and upset people can get when it's hot. And I promise it's not you, it is the heat. It has a funny way of making people go a little specially crazy. So stay cool, stay calm, stay collected this summer, and stay hot and sexy if you're going to stay any kind of hot. Anyways, love you. Let's get into all your questions because I know you have so many. Oh, also, if you need a nice little cool summer recipe, I posted the perfect summer lemonade on Instagram today. Well, I guess yesterday, since you're watching it on Tuesday. So if you need a good summer, listen, the best summer snack is when you go to that hot ass state fair that they always throw in your city randomly in the summer, and it's like way too fucking hot. You're sweating, it's steamy, you can hear the cicadas outside, and you're like, ugh, I either need A, like a fried Oreo, or B, that good ass state fair lemonade that they make. You know the one. It's so refreshing, it's so good. It's like the peak epitome of summer. It's so fucking easy. I made the recipe on my Instagram, but it's like the perfect way to stay cool this summer. And you can just throw it in your backpack, throw it in your purse, keep moving. Okay, have a little sip here and there, and you can put anything you want in it. Like I homegrown some strawberry mint, so I put strawberry mint in there, some lavender, some strawberries, just anything I had laying around. I also had like mangoes. I thought about doing like a mango lemonade. You could do like a mango jalapeno lemonade. You could just do like regular lemonade with a little bit of vanilla in there. Literally anything your heart desires. Lemonade is so easy. It's so fun to share. If you're doing like a late night event, you could throw a couple shots of vodka in there. You know what I mean, girls? Anyways, get out there, enjoy, stay cool. How to get back in shape, girlies? Stop the laziness? Question mark, question mark, question mark. This is something I've really been wanting to kind of focus on recently, especially after going hiking and just traveling and things like that. Using my body to like move and to sightsee and to just like get through things and going on these like 8-mile hikes, I realized how important it is to take care of yourself and to take care of your body. Also, seeing my parents grow up, I've been really lucky to have parents who really take care of themselves physically. Not like an almond mom situation. My mom's probably the most healthy and sane person that there is when it comes to womanly tendencies. I don't know how else to put it. I definitely don't have an almond mom. She'll eat whatever she wants and she'll work out here and there, but that's what makes her healthy. Do you know what I mean? My dad was a track coach and an athlete all of my life, so he's always naturally been very healthy. But seeing them age has really put that into perspective, because there's things that like my parents are doing and having a very easy time doing that I see other 50, 60-year-olds attempting to do, and they can't. And do you know why they can't? It's because they did not start when they were younger. The things that you do in your 20s affect you in your 30s and your 40s. So it's almost like preventative care. You don't need Botox, girl. You need to stretch those joints and maybe work on those back muscles. That's really what you need in order to age healthily as an adult. Eating semi-well, you know, like the 80-20 rule, making sure you're getting enough protein, you're getting enough vitamins, things like that. That will make aging as an adult and your body changing as an adult way easier. And you will have like less problems in the future. The reason you see all of these older individuals in different countries like aging to such a point that is impossible in the West, and being able to move and accomplish things and do things as an adult, where maybe adults here are not able to do those things. They need like severe care and time that, you know, is different from other countries. That's because they're taking care of their body. They have a community. They're eating healthily. They're getting out and moving every single day. And I have slowly been realizing that the more I age, listen, my younger 20s was all about going crazy and doing way too many drugs and partying and eating bad and whatever. Sometimes you gotta overindulge. You're a kid. Just have fun, whatever. But now I'm really trying to focus on the little things and like the small things in life that can really elevate my life. And one of those things is maybe getting into a little bit better of shape. And it doesn't necessarily mean I need to go out and run 10 miles today. I mean, that's so fucking cool if you do. It doesn't mean I need to go power lift 150 pounds. That's so fucking amazing if you do. If you listen to me while powerlifting or running a marathon, like, shout out to you. That's fucking insane. Please pat yourself on the back. But it doesn't always need to be exerting yourself in that sort of way. If you want to, fantastic, amazing, set goals, achieve them, go after them always. But I think simply like integrating maybe like and I was doing this for a while, and I realized how much better I felt just in my day-to-day life when I was doing my Pilates for 15 minutes every day, like I was talking about. Just a small little routine, even if it's just a 10-minute stretch, yoga flow in the morning. I feel like my body feels better, my energy is better, my libido is better, my view on life is better, because my body has exerted that like energy that it's storing necessarily. And so that's something I really need to be focusing on and kind of doing now, especially because I can't get outside as much because it's so fucking hot. It's just doing small little workouts in my apartment. I thought about getting a Pilates membership and just going to a a class every here and there and whatever, but also it's like my schedule's so crazy and I don't want to pay that money, and I also get a little shy in groups, but I'm not going to let that hold me back. Okay? I'm not going to let that hold me back. You can still do it at home. You can still stretch and do preventative care at home. That's why I post a lot of cooking videos, because I think a lot of people don't realize cooking is so easy. It's so healthy. It's a great way to kind of just like take care of yourself. It's like a gift to yourself in that sort of way. And I love making sure that I'm eating somewhat well, and everything always tastes better home cooked. Anyways, you don't need to get into a shape. There is no shape you need to get into. I think you need to get into your strength. I think the way we view this should change a lot, because I think a lot of people, especially women, focus on working out to fit a societal norm, to get skinnier, to get more in shape. I want my summer bod. When I think there's a lot of power in the way you frame things, and changing it from getting into shape, where it comes from a necessity, it comes from a place of lack, to getting into my strength, which is putting yourself in a place of like uplifting, of growth. Instead of coming from a place of lack, you're just adding on to the beautifulness that you already are. I think reframing and then going at it that sort of way will help the longevity of you working out and staying in shape or staying in strength and wanting to keep doing those things. Because when I was doing and feeling my best during Pilates, it wasn't to get into shape, it was to get into my strength. I was like, holy shit, my neck hurts all the time. Guess what? It's because my neck is so fucking weak. Holy shit, my back hurts all the time. It's because my back is weak. My muscles are weak. They're exerting extra energy to be able to do these normal things. So like, let's get into our strength, babe. But to stop the laziness and really just get into a routine of being able to do these things, you have to start. I mean, it seems fucking obvious, but you really just have to one day get fucking over yourself and tired of it and just start. All right? That's going to be the hardest part. That's the hardest part of it all. Whether it's starting to work out, or it's getting a new job, or it's any sort of like daily task that is hard and that you're kind of dreading doing, but also kind of want to do, starting is going to be the hardest part. Always. The easy part is just doing it. Sometimes you literally just have to force yourself to do it, and you will feel better afterwards for it. There's a lot of self-care things that are not fun to do. That's one big adult thing that you'll learn. There's a lot of self-care things that you're just like, this isn't fun, I don't like doing it, but ultimately you will be better for it. Bitch, do I want to do the dishes? No, but I know I'm going to be stressed out if I wake up in the morning and see a pile of dishes. Do I want to go do my laundry? No, but I want to be able to wear a cute outfit tomorrow and all my shit's dirty. So like, let me just make sure I'm doing it. Do I want to work out? Probably not, but will I feel better afterwards for it? Yes, I always will. Also, being a previous drug addict, there are ways to feel that way without substances, without rotting your brain and putting worms in your fucking brain to eat holes in it. And believe it or not, the gym girlies are onto something. You can get high off of working out. There is an endorphin that it releases naturally into your body that helps with depression, that helps with self-confidence, that helps with feeling good, that makes you feel this natural high. First time I ever felt this natural high, I was like 12 and I ran a cross country meet for the first time ever, and I ran so fucking hard that I vomited at the end. You would think I would feel awful after that, but the endorphins that were flooding through my body felt so addicting and so good. Honestly, girl, you want to do Molly without feeling Molly? Work out, like go for a run, push yourself. I went on this 8-mile hike with my friends, and 2 of my friends had to stay back. They were like, we cannot finish that, we're not going up there. I was like, you know what, I'm here, so this is a once in a lifetime event. Me and my other friend finished the hike, and it was hard. It was all uphill. It was on the side of a fucking cliff. But by the time I got to the top of that mountain, I was like, I am so glad I did this. Did I want to do it? No. I'm so glad I did it though, because my endorphins are flooding me. I'm seeing this beautiful sight that's a once in a lifetime sight. I'm feeling good. I'm with my friends, and that feeling is so addicting. If you start working out and start strengthening yourself, you will start feeling that. And that in turn is going to be like Pavlov's dog. It's going to help you want to do it more. It's going to condition you to feel good and understand that, no, this is a good thing to do. This is good for myself. I'm feeling good. I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to want to keep doing it. It's funny how your body will like naturally give you positive reinforcement for good things. Seek positive reinforcement from your body. Always. Anyways, that's a big goal of mine, something I've definitely been thinking about. In fact, I'll probably finish this podcast and go eat a salad. I've been craving a lot of fresh veggies this summer because it's so hot. I'm like, I want my insides to be cold. And then I'll probably do a little workout routine just because I talk all that talk, but bitch, if I don't walk the walk, then why the fuck am I here? Pussy shaving tips. I just shaved for the first time in honestly like a month yesterday because I was on a girls trip. Bitch, why am I gonna shave my hoo-ha? Like, let her free, let the bush free. I was in a bikini, but like, fuck it, let that bush fly, girl. You know what I mean? I'm not around my boyfriend. Also, my boyfriend doesn't care. Like, if I had a full bush, never shaved in my life, like I'm talking 4-inch bust down silk press down there, he would not care. He'd be happy to be there anyway. But there's like a certain aesthetic that I like, and it's not necessarily hairless. I hate that aesthetic. Everybody likes their own aesthetic, but the hairless is, listen, we all know it's weird and it's a little creepy when men prefer that. We all know. But everybody prefers different ways of shaving, different ways of body hair. I had armpit hair for a long time. Honestly, probably for like 10 years, just because I was like, I don't like having it, or I don't like not having it. Like, it's natural, men have it. Why the fuck do I need to shave my armpits? Like, that's just another thing that I have to do in my routine. Like, I don't want to fucking do that. So I just didn't shave my armpits for years, and it wasn't something I really thought about or anybody really shaved me for. It was just like, oh, I prefer hair there, so I'm gonna keep my hair there. Now I shave it because I, for some reason, am sweating so much. Like, I don't know what it is about getting older. I think my hormones changed a little bit, and now I sweat so much, and the hair was making me sweat even more. So now I shave for that reason, not for an aesthetic person, but down here, or aesthetic reason. But down here, girl, there's a certain way I like it. There's a certain way I keep it, and I still have a bush. But shaving is so difficult for no reason. Like, why the hell am I getting ingrown hairs all the time? And after years of shaving and attempting to shave and years of ingrown hair, I have had a pretty good routine recently that has kept me fairly smooth for a while and no ingrowns. So here's my foolproof method. You need a good razor. You do need one of those women's razors. The men's razors, they don't have that little moisturizing bar on the top. It's usually only 2 different like actual razors. I like the 4 razors with the thick ass fucking moisturizing bar on the top. I think the moisturizing bar makes a huge difference in the way you shave, because down there you need a lot of moisturizer. You need a lot of moisture. Okay, if you dry shave, it's gonna be very, very irritated. So I think if you find a razor with one of those thick ass moisturizing bars, great. I do not use shaving cream down there because I do not want to risk getting shaving cream in any sort of creases or anything like that, because your girl gets UTIs so easily. Like, you can look at me wrong and I'll get a UTI. So like, I'm not putting any extra like soap in there or shaving cream. I'm not risking it. Okay, the shaving bar works perfectly. There's not a lot of it. It's only where you're shaving. Simple. A good razor every single time. I do not reuse razors on my girly. Okay, I can reuse razors on my armpits. I can reuse razors on my legs. Like, I get it. One use, that razor's not dead. Don't throw it away. You can reuse it on your legs in a couple days. But every time you shave down here, your girly, you need to be using a new razor. Just to make sure there's no bacteria in it. There's no extra hair in it. You are getting a good clean shave every stroke that you get. That is very important. You need to go with the grain. Never, ever against the grain down there. Your legs, you can go against the grain. Down there, you cannot go against the grain. The follicles and the overall hair is going to be a little bit thicker than what's on your legs, which means it is going to get like ingrown way easier because there is more there. So you need to go against the grain so you're not pushing those follicles back up inside themselves and thus causing those ingrown hairs. You need to go with the grain. New razor with the grain. Make sure you've been standing in the shower for a good 10 minutes, okay? Don't dry shave outside the shower. Be in the shower. Make sure those pores are nice and warm and open and ready to go. You can exfoliate if you want. I don't necessarily do that. I don't think it's needed down there. I think as long as I do it at the end of my shower routine so that I've been in there for like 15 minutes and the skin is nice and soft, the pores are open, the hair is soft, you're ready to shave. And then I think that's pretty much it. With the grain, new razor. Make sure your skin is prepped and ready to go. Moisturizing bar. But I do think a lot of the ingrown hair and like the bad effects that people feel is because of the care that they do afterwards. Okay? Do not put on that thong afterwards. Do not put on that tight ass pair of pants that are gonna be just like bunched up there. I like to go commando afterwards for as long as I possibly can. In fact, today I'm in yoga pants, no undies, because I shaved last night and I don't want any extra like pressure or like rubbing of any sort down there. I need her to have time to breathe, have time to sort herself out. And I feel like when you have like extra like if you have tight underwear on and it's giving too much friction, that's what causes those ingrown hairs, and that's what causes a little bit more sensitivity. So girl, go commando if you need. I love commando. It's summer, it's hot, girl. You don't need that extra pair of underwear. Like, fuck it. Your man's gonna love it if you pull up in a sundress and no undies, babe. So like, if you're at home, put on a big t-shirt, go commando, you know, but give her time to breathe. Give her time to do her thing. That's what causes most of the ingrown hairs, is wearing too tight of clothes directly afterwards. I don't like shaving and then immediately putting on a swimsuit. That's going to be too tight, and then it's wet, and then you're cold, and then it's wet and friction-y. Bad all around. Make sure you have time in between to give her time to breathe. And yeah, that's really my best kitty shaving tips. You don't need to shave. If you do not want to shave, you do not need to. If a man says you have too much hair, tell him he's a fucking pussy and I don't sleep with babies. Hello? Like, you can do whatever you want. You can fit into any aesthetic that you want. You do not need to do these things. If you want to do them for yourself, I highly encourage you doing whatever you feel is necessary for yourself. But like with my armpits, if you're like, why am I being forced to shave? I don't want to. Like, this is so weird. Why do women do this and not men? If you're feeling that way and you don't want to, you don't have to. Girl, the bush is back. I love my little bush. Like, sure, I shave around and make it all pretty and like trim, but I love my bush. Okay, if you want a bush, a full forest down there, go for it. If you don't want to shave your armpits, go for it. Do what is best for you always. Love you. Oop. Someone said, why do men turn into big babies when they haven't had sex in a while? Because men are used to throwing tantrums for what they want and getting what they want no matter what, and they believe that they have ownership over women's bodies, especially women who are close to them. And if that's the way your man is behaving, you're dating or around a big baby, and in fact, he does not deserve any pussy for that behavior, okay? You cannot reinforce negative behavior with a positive reinforcement. You need to reinforce negative behavior with a negative reinforcement, as in leaving that man to die. Hello. I'm tired of men complaining that they're not getting pussy when they're being dicks and being mean and being rude all the fucking time. Yeah, you're not getting pussy because you have a bad fucking attitude. You think I'm gonna get good dick from a man who's complaining all the time about everything? No, I'm definitely not, okay? If you and your partner haven't had sex in a while, your man should not bring it up. And if he does bring it up, it should be like a, hey, I've noticed, like, you know, are you okay? Is there anything I can do? Is there any way I can build this romance? Men aren't fucking stupid. In fact, if they're not getting pussy, they should be, like, taking you out on dates, like, trying to up the romance a little bit, you know, trying to spark it up a little bit, not complaining that they're not getting it. I honestly, the older you get, the more you realize, like, most men are not going to complain about not getting pussy. If they're not getting pussy, they know it's for a reason, and they know they need to fix that attitude real fucking quick. Or they need to check in on their woman and make sure that they're okay. But if you're around a man who's complaining about not getting pussy, please leave him in the dirt. Leave him in the dust to complain to rot in hell. How do you live such an unbothered and peaceful life? Well, I used to be bothered all the fucking time and never at peace. And I realized that you cannot let things that are so negative control your life completely, or else you become a shell of a human being. And I realized, well, it's always going to be harder choosing peace, but it will be, of course, always more peaceful and way more better to your mental health. I'm always seeking love. I'm always searching for love because I've been in those deep, dark pits. I've been there. I've let hatred and, let people bother me, and I've let shit affect me to the point where it overconsumed my whole entire life and I forgot who I was as a person, whether it was depression, whether it was small tiffs, whether it was drama. And my God, it is just so exhausting. It is so just draining. It is not a way that you want to live life. And I know some of you guys have probably been there, and sure, maybe it's the harder choice, choosing peace and choosing love, but my God, does it not make life so much easier? Always. Even in the negatives, I will always seek love. Even in the negatives, I will always be like, you know what? Maybe that person was having a bad day. That was a weird fucking interaction, but at least I can move on with my day. If I'm having a bad mental health day, you know what? Tomorrow will be better. Always seeking the light in order to make sure that A, I'm taking care of myself and I'm making this life the best life possible, and B, I'm just making sure that this is a peaceful moment for me no matter what. No matter how stressful, no matter how bad, I'm making sure that I'm taken care of first in the most peaceful, loving way possible. Also, the weed definitely helps. People keep saying Brat Summer. I have not listened to Brat yet. I'm kind of waiting for the perfect exact moment to listen to it. I feel like when I listen to these big, important like drops of music and discographies in a sense, or even just albums, I really like to put myself into like an intentional moment to listen to it. And I feel like I really just need a night where my boyfriend's gone and I can change my LED lights to like neon green, and I can take a fat dab and like chug a vodka lemonade and just dance around my house to Brat. That's exactly what I need. Recently I have been taking my time to listen to Kate Trinata's new album. So good. I love him so much. My favorite on that, if you need a good like summer album, listen to Kate Trinata's new album. My favorite on that discography right now, it was Pink Pantheress. We were blasting that on my girls trip. Snap My Fingers, her song with him, but now it's changed to the Anderson .Paak. I think it's called Due to Me. I don't know, the Anderson .Paak song that they collabed on that album. But that's the album that I recently was really listening to. Now I need to transition into Brat so I can have a Brat summer. I feel like it's hot out, it's sticky out. I need to get into my Brat summer vibes. So that's my homework for the weekend. I will be going and listening to that, and maybe I'll get back to you next week and give you guys a review. But yeah, I like to be very intentional about my music, especially getting into like sad girl music so young and just over consuming it. I like to really just set the scene and make sure that like, because I feel like when music comes out, 5 years down the road, you're going to be like, where was I at that point in time? What was I doing? How was I listening to it? What was I going through? What emotions was it conveying for me? And I feel like that's so special. And that's why I love music. So I'm going to I always try and be intentional about like when I play albums and when they find their way into my life. And I like to do so very naturally. I like to let them come to me naturally. And recently that's been Kate Trinata for me, but I have a feeling I'm going to transition into Brat very soon. How to deal with a lack of physical contact out of a relationship. A girl just needs some cuddles. Get you a weighted blanket. No, even better, get you a weighted stuffed animal. That's the way to do it, okay? Oh, I love a weighted blanket. That saved me during my last breakup. Literally, it felt like there was another human on top of me. And it's kind of like, have you ever heard of like I think they make them for like dogs and stuff, like thunder vests. So it's like a weighted vest for you to put on your dog. So when like fireworks are going off and they're getting anxiety about loud noises, it like makes them feel soothed and held. You can do that for you as a human being as well. Like you don't need an Ativan, babe. You need a thunder vest. You need a weighted blanket. You need a weighted stuffed animal. I know they sell weighted stuffed animals at Target. Or adopt a cat if you're in a healthy place to do so. But that would be my best advice. Don't settle. Maybe you can hire a professional cuddler. That could be fun. But if you really, really need physical contact, go hold your friend's hand at brunch and then go to Target together and go buy a weighted stuffed animal. How to get over an ex when you're a BPD baddie. Listen, the BPD baddies know it best. We know how to completely remove ourselves from a situation and completely disregard it. I mean, maybe not in the moment when it's like overwhelming our senses and our emotions, but listen, we know how to fucking split and dip. That's for sure. So you just have to do that. Honestly, like as soon as I break up with somebody, I pretend you never existed. Sure, I remember those moments that we had that were good, that were probably a lot of them bad, but it's almost like me side by side with like this faceless person. You know, it's more of like an entity of sorts. I don't remember the person anymore. I completely split. I pretend they are not alive. They are not a human being. They never existed. In fact, I block everything. I delete everything. Like literally, I pretend that shit never fucking happened. I mean, I've only ever had bad experiences, so that's really worked for me. Maybe if you've had like only good experiences, it might be a little bit harder, but I feel like for me, what's best, so I don't ruminate on the past in any sort of way, which is very easy for BPD girlies to be like, what if, let me get consumed with all these emotions of what if, is to really just like physically and mentally remove yourself completely, or honestly, remove them completely from the picture. And that's why I always advocate for blocking and deleting everything. Listen, it's going to be good for your mental health. I promise. No, as a BPD girly, you cannot be friends with your ex. Are you insane? I mean, yeah, but like, don't be that fucking insane. Don't put yourself through hell for nothing. So yeah, I really just pretend that person never existed. Literally like a faceless person next to me. That's how I imagine those memories. And that's been best for me. I really want to be a chill, cool girl, but I'm so anxious about everything and can't hide it. Oh, I feel that. That was me, like, going on this girls trip. Me and my friend were talking, and she's like, I have a really hard time just like releasing and letting things happen and letting go. Like, I'm a planner. I really try and make sure everything's planned, and here's this and here's this and here's our itinerary, and I'm not a go with the flow person. But me and her, we made eye contact and we were like, no, this trip we are going to, because I'm just like her, we're going to allow ourselves to just go with the flow. We're not going to get upset over anything. We're going to say yes to everything or no to what we don't want to do. We're just going to go with the flow and do what we can and try our best. And as a chronic anxious girly, that was really good practice for me. That was great practice for me. Oh my gosh, that was so good for me to practice just like releasing and letting the universe take over my experiences. There is some things you can control. Always. There's always some factor that you can control. Maybe it's okay, well, I'm gonna be the plans. I'm gonna make the plans for us. We're gonna go with my plans. Maybe it's all I can control in this situation is my outfit. Maybe it's all I can control in this situation is how I handle it. You can be a control freak in any situation, but sometimes the control needs to be directed at you, not at other people, okay? And practicing that is such a good, healthy thing to do. Putting yourself in environments as a control freak that are new and are a little scary and you're a little unsure is really good practice for being able to step out of that control of other people and focus on control of self, control of looking forward of like environments and things, making sure that you're taking care of yourself, making sure you're taking care of your mental health, making sure you're controlling your urges and your desires and your control freakness, you know? There's always a way and there's always something that you can control in a healthy manner, but you need to realize like when controlling something is obviously unhealthy and only stressing you out. I feel like the cool, chill girl accepts what she can and understands what she can't. That is peak cool, chill girl. And girl, if you can't accept it or control it or any of that and you start panicking, girl, smoke a bowl or step away from the situation. If you're getting overwhelmed by something, you can always remove yourself. You have control over that. There are certain things you have control over. There are certain things you can't. You have to accept what you can and do the best with what you can't. But honestly, I think modern day or like everyday practice is really good. Putting yourself in environments that are new to you, you don't know what to expect, challenging yourself in that way. It's going to strengthen the relationship between you and yourself and also deter that control freakness in a healthy manner. It's going to put into perspective, maybe I can't control things, but also sometimes things work out better when I'm not. And the things that I can control, I'm going to put my emphasis there. I'm going to focus on that because I know that will turn out well, because that is the option, is making sure that it turns out well because I can control it. But what I can't, sometimes you got to leave and let the universe handle. Listen, the universe is always going to put you on the path that is best for you. You literally just have to lean into it and let it happen. Someone asked, what is my perception of love? I feel like love nowadays has been kind of deterred in a way that makes me a little sad, because everybody got very, very, very selfish in a way that is kind of heartbreaking in a sense. I think selfishness is important when it comes from a place of maybe not putting yourself forward enough and like people pleasing a little too much, and emphasizing selfishness in a way to preserve self and to uplift self. But I think a lot of people nowadays have kind of just like over-consumed self, and they've lost love in that sort of way. Love is all around us. Love is everywhere. Love is the light that you seek in every single possibility, in every single person, in every single moment. That is love. Love is the birds chirping outside your window to wake you up in the morning. Love is the cicadas chirping at night to lull you to sleep. Love is that long-term friendship that you've had since you were a kid, the one you made on the playground. Love is growing a plant from scratch and baking it into a pie and sharing it with your friends. Love is everything. It's everything. And it's everything to me. I thought love was so hard to come by. When I was like in my most depressed state, I thought it was gone. I thought I would never find it. I thought I would never know love, but we are love. We are love. We are literally the physical embodiment of love. Think about how like humans are made. It's made through sex, and sure, not always the best way, but most of the time it's made through the act of creating love and making love. And I think that's so beautiful. But we all as human beings are able to connect to this divine being, this divine power, whatever you want to call it, God, the universe. In reality, it is just love, and it's unconditional love. And I think you can seek it and be it no matter where you go. Even in your darkest moments, you will always find love. It will always be there, even in the small things, even in the big things. And if you don't know how to find it, I really, really recommend starting small. Sometimes starting with yourself can be the hard part, especially when you are having a hard time connecting to yourself. Searching for love in yourself or others is going to be a little bit more difficult. But finding love in the everyday moments in life will always be availability and will always be a possibility. Whether it's the way the sunshine comes through your window that makes it look a little extra pretty, or your plant growing a new leaf, or the little squirrels that come and visit you every day and hopefully don't eat my fucking plants. But like, you can find it no matter where you go. And I think people have lost touch of love. They've lost touch of seeking love. I think a lot of people have forgotten that it can be found no matter where you go. And I really encourage you guys, if you're not looking for love, to watch out for it. All these people are going on these little like flower walks, just so cute, because I did this with my nanny kids when I was younger, where they have like the little tape wristband, and then they go walk around and they go pick little flowers and put it on their tape wristband, and then it's like a little flower wristband. And I think you can do the same thing with love, where it's like, I'm going to go on a love scavenger hunt instead of a wildflower scavenger hunt. And I'm going to have my tape wristband that is my heart. And I'm going to go out there and I'm going to go seek and search for small little moments as much as I can. I think it has a great way of really emphasizing and uplifting the human spirit, and also making sure that you are in connection to life and life is in connection to you. So if you don't know what to do with your day, seek love. How to remember who you are when you have a boyfriend, it's consuming you and you forgot. This is hard because I think in past relationships, I would have really, really connected to this question and been like, oh my God, yeah, me too. I've completely lost myself. I've completely isolated myself. And that's not healthy. It's not healthy. And I think you know it's not healthy, but I think it stems from one of two reasons. A, you are overlifting your relationship and you are putting in all of the work, and you're also like kind of self-isolating in that way, where you are only hanging out with your boyfriend and only connecting to yourself in relation to your partner, and really just making sure that they're happy, they're happy, they're happy. What can I do for the relationship? I'm stressing myself out over the relationship, blah, blah, blah. That sort of way. Or it's your partner isolating you. It's you isolating yourself in the relationship and just like making sure you're over consumed by it, or it's your partner completely isolating you, both of which are not healthy, and both of which I think if you're feeling, you really need to practice your individualism. I've been that way kind of in the beginning of my relationship. It's very easy to get all consumed and make it the only thing you think about, but that does not make a relationship healthy. And in fact, it's the number one way to kill a relationship. You would think putting all your time and energy and feeling into a person would make it healthy, but it's going to stress the other person out. And not only the other person, but it's also going to stress you the fuck out, because your life is not your relationship. You have choices to make as an individual. Remember, choices, you can make choices now. You can be an individual. Girl, you need hobbies. You need to get out there. You need to uplift yourself as a person. And like, my boyfriend has way more hobbies than me, but I still find ways to make sure that I'm uplifted as an individual. And sure, we come together and we support our relationship every once in a while, but we do take very, very, like a lot of care to make sure that we are having individual time, and that individual time is uplifted. If your partner is isolating you and not allowing you time to be an individual, or not supporting your hobbies, not supporting your individual activities, putting you down in that sort of way, I've been in those relationships. That is not healthy. And you need to free yourself immediately. He's not going to change. He's not going to share you. He doesn't want you to be in the world. He wants you to be his little girlfriend that he can fit in his pocket and will do anything he says. That's not healthy. That's not a relationship. You need to get out. Sometimes we are the bad people. Sometimes we are the ones who are kind of like making the situation difficult, not your partner. Maybe your partner is so sweet and uplifts you and wants you to be an individual, but you find yourself being overconsumed in a relationship. Your relationship is not your life. It is a big part of your life, and it is something that you do get to share, but it is not your life. You need to be an individual in order for that relationship to be completely healthy. A healthy relationship is not two people together. It's two individuals coming together. You're not two halves making a whole. You're two wholes experiencing something side by side. So I think you need to challenge yourself a little bit. You need to go out and do an activity alone. You need to go hang out with your friends. You need to pick up a hobby. Even if you don't want to leave the house, like stay home, but don't do something for the relationship. Do something for you. Make a bubble bath, cook a meal that you really like and eat it alone. Start watching your favorite TV show and pick up knitting. I don't know what it is, but if you find yourself self-sabotaging in that sort of sense where you're allowing a relationship to overconsume you, you need to up the individuality a little bit, okay? That's how you make a relationship so healthy, is by being two complete individuals. Also, it's a great way to have just like alone time. When my boyfriend's out skating, doing his thing, I have alone time here to record my podcast, to maybe do a new recipe if that's what I want to do. Maybe it's do some art, play some music, paint a little bit. But finding who you are when you have been overconsumed in a relationship really just comes from tapping into yourself. And if you've not tapped into yourself in a while and you don't know how to do that, think back to when you were 7, to when you were 14, to when you were 16, to when you were 19. However old that you had that dream and that spark still alive, what would they want to do right now? What would they want to do right now? With your adult money, with your adult time, with your adult perspective, what would they want to do right now? I love living my life side by side with my childhood self, because it's like she's always a part of me, and now I get to make her dreams come true. Oh, I couldn't afford that Tumblr shirt at 16. Well, now I can. Oh, I couldn't afford that art supplies at 7. My parents wouldn't buy for me. Well, now I can. Oh, I couldn't go to that place, but I always dreamed of. Well, now I can. Bring her dreams alive. She's still alive inside of you. You need to uplift her. And in turn, uplifting her is also uplifting yourself. You are the same person. But I love you. Losing yourself in a relationship is very easy. Once again, love can be over-consuming, but when it becomes over-consuming, it becomes unhealthy. So taking care of yourself is also taking care of a relationship. And if your partner doesn't want you to be an individual, they are not a partner. That is a warden. You are living a jail cell. Okay? Free yourself. As someone said, tell me what accessories I need. You need a good big purse. Whatever purse you like. All my friends have the Bagoo. They love the Bagoo because you can fit anything inside of it. Mine is kind of a Bagoo. It's the same fucking size and shape, but it's a denim bag. I love a big purse. I don't like a tote bag because it's a little too big. I mean, I like a tote bag, but I don't like a big purse tote bag kind of sense, because I can't carry too much stuff. I'll become a hoarder. Find a purse that fits you. Find a good everyday purse that fits enough stuff that you need. Carry it around with you. Okay, you need a good purse. I love my rings. I think my rings are a great way to accessorize, as well as my everyday necklaces, my everyday earrings. I've found all of mine secondhand, whether it comes from a local crystal store, a thrift store. eBay is a great option. If you need really good, solid, good jewelry, yeah, it's jewelry on Instagram, and their website makes amazing, solid gold jewelry. They're my go-to. Remember, when it comes to quality jewelry, the more you invest, the longer it lasts. Okay, I don't take any of this off. It all stays on my body. I don't want to take it off. I'm lazy. Hello. But I also don't want it turning my neck green. So sure, I'll pay an extra $100 if that means it's going to last me a lifetime and I'll be able to pass it down to my children. Easy. What other accessories? I like to accessorize my nails. That's a big accessory for me. I always have my nails done. Even when I didn't have long ass acrylics and they were short little stubby nails, I would always do like fun little paint on them, and I painted them myself. I wasn't really spending a lot of money. I would just do like cute little dots, little flowers. I would put little rhinestones on. Simple. Recently I have elevated to getting my toes done. A little cute accessory that I have that is overlooked are the feet. I have a toe ring. I've worn a toe ring for like 4 years now. In fact, I want another one. I got it in Venice Beach. There's this one like jeweler on Venice Beach that will put toe rings on and anklets on for you. My boyfriend was convinced that he had a foot fetish, but also like he was putting that shit on, so who cares? Like, he wasn't making it weird, but also like, what a job, you know? At least you're making money and helping me out in the long run, so who cares? Little anklets are a great way to accessorize, bangles, things like that. I love a good chunky necklace. And then when it comes to just everyday wear, like something small, like this headband, accessory, boom, done. A hat, accessory, boom, done. A cute little belt, anything. And I love getting my accessories that are like not everyday wears, but maybe every once in a while, just something to spice it up, from thrift stores. Do not miss the accessory portion of a thrift store, okay? Buy that rhinestone belt, buy that fun belt buckle, buy those weird pair of shoes, buy that crazy purse, buy that crazy necklace, whatever it is. I guarantee you'll find a way to wear it. And I feel like the best way to accessorize, especially on the low, is with thrift store purchases. Always. A lot of my accessories have come from a thrift store. But everyday things, I really just focus on my purse, my bag, my nails. That's really all I can do. Oh, a big slept on accessory is your hair. I realize there's so much I can do with my hair. I just don't. I usually just throw it up in a claw clip or it's down. But like braiding it, space buns, pigtails, doing fun things with your hair is always a fun way to accessorize as well. And a very easy way to change it up. Dyeing your hair, shaving it, whatever it is. Also a great way. Bumping into a Hinge guy IRL who ghosted. How to carry yourself. Baddie affirmations, please. Baddie affirmations. I will not let a mid-male affect my self-worth. I am worth more than what I received. I'm seeking love and light in every single situation possible, and I do not accept anything less. Period. What I would do in that situation, I just pretend I didn't know him. Whether I did or not, hide that shock. Hide the look of shock on your face. Pretend you don't know who it is. Oh, sorry. Keep moving on. That's the best way to be like a hot, unbothered baddie. Literally unbothered. Pretend you don't fucking know them. Always. It's like kind of like not a flex, but it's also like you didn't get to me. And I know you wanted to get to me, but you didn't. And I'm still living my best hot, sexy life. And you get to see me in this bar flirting with other men now, so suffer. Haha. I feel really stuck and miserable in life. I really want to change, but how do I do that? I'm going to read you something and hopefully it inspires you a little bit. But it inspired me, and I also shared it with my Patreon. I'm really trying to be more intentional about my Patreon recently because life's been kind of crazy this summer and I've been slacking a little bit. So I'm so sorry about that. But I have a lot of exciting things planned, and the content I'm making now is going to be just like so amazing now that I have more time, and I'm so excited to share that with you guys. But let me read this to you. To love is to risk not being loved in return. To hope is to risk pain. To try is to risk failure. But risk must be taken because the greatest hazard in life is to risk nothing. You might not know what you want to do, but there are directions you can take. You need to just choose, okay? Sit down. Allow yourself to dream. Allow yourself to think of who you want to be in 5 years, all the different possibilities, all the different ways of being. And sometimes you just need to put one foot in front of the other and go after something. The best way to build confidence, to build courage, to build understanding in yourself is to simply try. You might fail. Guess what? At least you stood by yourself and you had the fucking balls to go after it. You might succeed. And then guess what? You had the strength and the courage to go after what you wanted, whether you knew you wanted it or not, and try something new. And guess what? It worked out. There, honestly, in my opinion, is no such thing as failure. At the end of the day, you will get something out of it and you will be able to grow and be a better person because of it. You feel miserable because you are stuck. But you are never stuck. Well, you're stuck, you think. You're in a place where you know you need to change, you need to do something, you just don't know what. So that's why I always tell people to dare to dream. I feel like dreaming is so underrated these days. People have like one idea of what they want to be, maybe what they want to become. Dream. There's so many options out there. There's so many choices to make. Like, we have the ability to make a choice now. There's so many different things that you can become and try. You could be a chef. You could be a park ranger. You could be an astronaut. You can be anything you want to be. You need to dream a little bit, so then you have the confidence to go after it, and you need to stand by yourself as you go after it, whether you succeed or fail, because either way, you'll be a stronger individual for it. Feeling stuck in life is feeling like you have no options. You always have options. You must create them for yourself. No one's going to come up to you and give you all of these options and lay out all of these paths for you and tell you which one to take. That would make life so fucking boring. Unfortunately, we do have to find those paths on our own, but you will find the path that works best for you. I promise. The universe is always working and pushing you onto the right path. What is meant for you will always be for you. You're going to have ups and downs in life no matter what, but find peace in knowing that the universe is always going to put you on the right path, on the path that is good for you, that is best for you. So find peace in that, but stand strong beside yourself and dare to dream a little bit, okay? Once again, like I said in the beginning, we are so blessed to be able to have choices and be able to, make choices in these lives and dream and accomplish things, especially as women who haven't had that for a long time. So take advantage of that. Take the confidence that your great grandmother wished she had and the choices that she wished she had, and use the strength of all the women who came previously before you to push you into what you truly desire and dream of. Love you. Someone said how to make life feel less serious all the time. Hannah, please. You know what? That's why I smoke weed. Like, TBH. It's because you remember being like, like the stoner culture from when you were like a teenager, and it was all about just like getting high and having a giggle with your friends and like getting the munchies and then like running around and getting into trouble. Like, that feeling is so nice to tap into, especially as an adult now who actually has responsibilities and bills to pay. Ew, don't bring that up. We don't want to hear it. I know. But a great way to kind of just like not avoid your problems, but I think healthily tap into a side of yourself that is a little bit more unserious is weed. And I've been trying to be a little bit more intentional about my weed consumption lately, and just like the emphasis that I have on it. I've been really focusing on like substances in my life and why I use them, like my relationship to alcohol and my relationship to weed. And I feel like my relationship to alcohol is a little bit more unhealthy than my relationship to weed. My relationship to alcohol is definitely like an escapism tactic and not in a healthy way. I feel like when I'm drinking, it's to kind of just like disappear from my emotions and be a quick little happy forget me not, you know what I mean? But it makes me feel bad the next day. It makes me feel heavy. It makes me feel not great, and that usage is definitely not healthy, and I'm trying to reevaluate whether it's taking a step away or finding a healthier way to use it. I think there is a healthy way to use it, and the way I really do want to use alcohol is a great pairing with a great meal, having a crisp glass of wine, one glass of wine shared with a group of friends, like intentionality of it all. Am I drinking after work to forget what I did? No, I should not be doing that. But am I maybe sharing a glass of champagne at a celebratory dinner? Sure, that's a healthy way to use it. But I'm really trying to deter my alcohol usage a little bit. But my weed usage has always been pretty healthy in the way I use it. And it's been very like unserious in that sort of way, where I'm not smoking to forget who the fuck I am or what happened or to take the edge off. I'm smoking to kind of dive into that little 16-year-old part of my brain that is very unserious. That like, I just want to dance around my house and have a little giggle and a little laugh and dream a little bit and make a little mood board or get into my creative side and do some painting. And I think weed is a great, great tool for that. And I do believe that's how it really should be used, honestly. If you are using any sort of substance to completely remove yourself from life or forget your emotions, that is ultimately a unhealthy way to use it. But like, babe, if you want to bring out the unseriousness of life, smoke a little joint and pull out a fucking paintbrush and like, have you seen those challenges where it's like someone sits in front of you and you guys paint each other and then you turn it around, and it's always so silly because like obviously people's art skills are going to be completely different and the way we view each other is going to be completely different. Like, how fun. Like, there is a great way to use it to tap into that unseriousness of life. And I love using weed as that kind of tool for me. It's been really healthy in that sort of way. It just brings out that fun little silly 16-year-old side of me, and I love to honor her and cherish her in any way possible. But also, let me give you advice that's not substance based. The unseriousness of life can really be tapped into when you know what to emphasize. You know what is important in your life. You know what to take seriously. When you take everything seriously, it's going to be a little bit too heavy. Life's going to feel way too fucking heavy. Tapping into the unseriousness of life is really understanding what to give weight to and what not to. Like, there's sometimes people come at me sideways and it's just like, that was wild, but also like, whatever. I'm not going to let that get to me. I'm not going to let it become heavy on my heart because they're obviously feeling some sort of way, but I'm not going to let myself feel that same exact way. A lot of projecting in that sort of way. Or maybe it's like, sure, work is stressing me out, but babe, that's a 9 to 5. I'll take that seriously when I'm clocked in. As soon as I'm clocked out, like, I'm not letting that eat up any more of my time. I'm not getting paid to think about it. You need to realize what is worth taking serious and what is not. I also think having unserious people in your life is a little healthy. Not unserious in the way where they're kind of like putting you down or putting themselves down or putting you in bad situations or putting themselves in bad situations. More so people who see the lighter side of life, who have that whimsiness, that childhood energy to them. I love having people around me that are just like silly and goofy and bring that out of me, because I am a very, believe it or not, stoic and serious person, and I have a hard time tapping into that. So having people around me who are a little bit more silly and fun is really good for me. Like, my boyfriend is definitely that. Like, he's a skater boy. Of course he's gonna be like a little bit more silly and a little bit more dumb, and I love that because it helps me tap into it. But yeah, you really need to understand what's worth taking seriously in this life and what's not. When you take everything seriously, the things that are actually important are going to be mixed up with the things that you should not put any weight towards. So understand what's important to you and what's not. and act accordingly. And when all else fails, smoke a little weed. Anyways, I'm sorry I didn't smoke with you guys today. I know, isn't that like the whole point of the fucking podcast? I guess a little fun smoke sesh thing could be like, take a hit every time I answer a question. Fun. I'm out of weed though. This is like a first in my life. I went on vacation and my boyfriend didn't buy any flower because he usually smokes dabs. And he gave away the other part of the flower while I was gone, so I didn't like sit around and go bad. And I've been so busy that I really haven't asked him to do so. So I believe he's out doing that right now. But I didn't have any flour on me, and I didn't want to take dabs at 12:30 in the afternoon just because we're trying to be serious about our consumption and make sure my brain's taken care of and my body's taken care of. So apologies for that. But also, I think someone asked me like, how would I describe this podcast to someone? And the goal really is just, that like group of people, sitting down in high school with a random circle of a group of people at the party who kind of want to escape, but also just like chill and connect. And everybody's vibing. They're sunk deep into that fucking couch. Maybe two people are drunk here. Maybe one person's high. Maybe they're maybe they're passing a blunt around. Maybe somebody's smoking, somebody's not. Maybe somebody's asleep in the corner. This is the safe space at the party. Sure, there's so much music blasting and there's chaos and there's glasses breaking over there. But over here, it's the people who are wanting to chill, to experience life side by side. Maybe somebody needs to get something off their chest, and this is a safe space for everybody to just listen and receive and give their thoughts. Maybe this is a safe space where somebody's like, what do you guys think about aliens? Like, let's have a dumb conversation. We're not all smoking weed, but maybe some are. Maybe some are drinking. Once again, maybe someone's passed out in the corner. Either way, I want this to be like that safe circle at the party, but on like an internet basis. That's the goal of this podcast. And maybe I was the girl who didn't smoke today, but that doesn't mean you guys don't have to. Hit a little bit for me, smoke a little joint for me. If you're on a tea break, stay strong, believe in yourself, dare to dream, make choices. We're so lucky to have this life and to be able to live this life. And I think we take it for granted and we sit and we wait for something good to happen when in reality, the good is what we create of it. And we really just have to go out there and seek goodness and love in every single possibility that we can find. So hopefully I was able to give that positive energy towards you. I hope you were able to feel that today. And I love you all so much. Thank you so much for supporting me and everything that I do. I've really been feeling a lot of the love lately, and I really have been intentional about this next season of my life to just give it right back to you guys, and hopefully I was able to do that today. But I love you all so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. Stay sexy and stay cool out there. Oh my god, I think it's like 105 out today. My apartment can barely keep up. I think it's like 78 in here. It's hot as hell. But I'm gonna go eat me a nice big fresh salad. I'm gonna go do a little Pilates workout. I think I'm cooking fettuccine Alfredo for dinner tonight. Probably make me a big ass jug of green tea or lemonade or something to stay cool. And yeah, with that being said, I love you all. Thank you so much for all the questions. I kind of went on some tangents today. I didn't think I would do that, but hopefully they were inspirational for you all. And next week I'll do a little bit more of a question roulette. I'll try and get through as many questions as I can. But thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. Stay cool, stay sexy, stay safe, seek love, and I'll see you all next week. Mwah!